I'm KHOU meteorologist Kim Castro, and we'll be reading Josefina's Habichuelas, a book by Jasminne Mendez. Josefina loved to eat sweets. She loved warm chocolate chip cookies out of the oven. She loved cupcakes and candy, but Mommy wouldn't let her eat them all the time because sugar is bad for your teeth. One night, Josefina was eating a serving of flan. Mommy said, Lent is coming. It's the time before Easter when some people choose to give up foods they enjoy. This helps them reflect on their actions and brings them closer to God. This year, I would like you to give up sugary food. What? How long is Lent? 40 days and 40 nights. I can't give up sweets for that long. What if we do it together? Her mom asked. Okay, but it won't be easy. When do I have to start? Asked Josefina nervously. Tomorrow. So enjoy the flan because it's the last dessert you'll have for a while. Josefina gobbled her slice in one big bite. For the next few weeks, Josefina did not eat sweets. At home it was easy because Mommy gave her fruit instead. It was hard at school, though. At lunch, her friends ate cookies, candy, and cupcakes. They wanted to share with her, and Josefina always had to say no. Mommy, fasting is hard, Josefina said after dinner one night. I know, Mommy said, but there are many lessons you can learn from fasting. Like what? Well, you're learning to set goals and overcome obstacles. In the end, your reward will be great. I get a reward? Yes. You'll get Habichuelas con dulce, your favorite dessert, on Good Friday, right before Easter Sunday. Josefina's eyes lit up. Habichuelas con dulce, yummy. But Mommy, why do we only eat them on Easter? It's tradition, mija, what we've always done. Now you get to carry it on. What do you mean? This year, because you're working so hard to achieve your goal, I'm going to teach you how to make the sweet cream bean dessert. Ooh. Josefina knew this was a big deal. Mommy usually said she was too young to go near the stove. Learning how to make the dessert meant she was growing up. That Thursday night, Josefina and Mommy started to prepare. First, they separated and washed the red beans. Then they poured the beans into a giant bowl. Click, clack. They filled the bowl with warm water. Swish, swish. Josefina buried her hands in the bowl and swirled the beans around. They felt like tiny pebbles. Mommy drained the beans and filled the bowl with water again. She said, now we have to soak the beans overnight. Delicious. The next day, Josefina woke up, rushed to the kitchen and asked, have the beans finished soaking yet? Yes, and now we have to boil them, Mommy said. Josefina stood in the kitchen watching the pot on the stove. Mija, a washed pot never boils. Go play. I'll call you when it's time. Josefina didn't want to move because she wanted to be there for every single moment. She was excited. Then the doorbell rang, and in came Tia Yesenia and Tia Xiomara, an abuelita carrying large bags of groceries. Hola, abuela, said as she hugged Josefina. Bendición, abuela. Can you believe I'm helping to make the habichuelas con dulce this year? And I know they're going to be delicious because I haven't had any sweets in a long time. Can you believe I gave up eating sugar for 40 days and 40 nights? I do believe it. And because of that, these habichuelas are going to taste even sweeter. You're going to make them with so much love. In the kitchen, Mommy turned on some merengue music and they danced. Shake, shake, shake. Nutmeg, vanilla, cinnamon, and salt, said Tia Xiomara, shaking the ingredients in the pot. Chop, chop, chop. Here come the sweet potatoes, said Tia Yesenia, slicing and dicing to the beat of the drums. Tap, tap, tap. We can't forget the milk, evaporated, condensed, and coconut. Mommy said, tapping the cans on the counter. Abuela lowered the music and began to tell a story. When I was a girl on the island, we didn't have a stove inside the house. We cooked our beans outside with a large fire called a fogón, and we stirred our beans with sticks. Did you really use sticks? Josefina said. We did, said Abuela. By now, the pot on the stove was bubbling and gurgling loudly, blurp, blurp. Hot water hissed and splashed. Steam rose to the ceiling. Are the beans ready yet? Josefina asked. Mommy spooned up a few and squeezed one. It was smushy between her fingers. Yes, now we let them cool and put them in the blender. Look at that bubbling up there. Once the beans are cooled, blended and put back into the pot, Mommy and Josefina waited for them to boil again. Mommy said as she smelled the beans. This reminds me of Papa's hugs when he would hold me in his lap and feed me habichuelas on Easter Sunday. Josefina inhaled the sweet smell and said, this reminds me of all the desserts in the world that I haven't eaten in almost 40 days and 40 nights. Everyone laughed. Oh my goodness, all the smells, I can almost smell them myself. Josefina added the sweet potatoes, raisins, and salt. The aroma of cinnamon and sugar swirled up from the pot and perfumed the air. Well, look at Abuelita smelling and tasting it. She said, now it smells like love and happiness. Abuelita stirred the beans, took a taste, and said, they're done. In fact, it's the best pot of habichuelas con dulce I've tasted in all my life. Abuela winked at Josefina. After dinner, Josefina's cousins, aunts, uncles, and friends came over to enjoy the sweet beans. Tia Xiomara and Tia Yesenia gave out cassava bread and milk cookies. Everyone but Josefina began to eat. After a few bites, Papi looked up at his bowl and asked, who made these habichuelas con dulce? It's delicious. I can taste the love. Josefina stood up and took a bow and said, I made it with Mommy, Abuela, and my aunts. That's wonderful. Where is your bowl? Aren't you going to eat some? No, I have to wait until Easter Sunday when my fasting is over. But that's okay because I like my habichuelas con dulce cold. That night, almost everyone had a second serving of Josefina's habichuelas. As the room filled with music and laughter and the air smelled of sugar and spice, Josefina didn't feel sad she wasn't enjoying her dessert. Her heart filled with joy when she saw how happy everyone else was, eating the habichuelas she had made with love. That was the sweetest feeling of all. What can we learn from this sweet, sweet book? Well, sometimes we get the greatest enjoyment in seeing others, the ones we love around us, happy. And with hard work, with dedication, and with love, we can make something really special for the ones we love. And that is more rewarding than doing things for ourselves and doing things quickly. Sometimes when we put time and effort into something, it becomes much, much more rewarding. So keep working hard for what you love, and remember to always make those around you feel happy and feel loved. Thanks for joining us for tonight's bedtime story. If you would like to help put books in the homes of children in our community, go to khou.com/books and help us turn the page on illiteracy.